The rabbis can't add additional. They can add a border that you're showing the temperature of the breast. So they can widen out the roll that you're showing the temperature across. So they can't add 630. So what? The Thursday don't right. Yeah.
Talmud says do not even touch the
They're not even touching it because it's yeah. So space for you. It's wide enough scale to make sure that you don't throw, then you find out. So you have the rules of the Torah that you have to give space and have power. You have the orange chain that is. Now, the rabbi will say, one second, what the thing is not to write it, he needs it because he needs the place. And that's what the rabbi will say. One rabbi will say, and I will say, you know what, if you need the place, then maybe you shouldn't be out moving because you remember you can't write. And the main thing is you shouldn't transgress. And that's where the Talmud doesn't know how it's written. It's written in a very argumentative way. It's written in dialogue. Open dialogue. No open conversation at all. It's just the rabbis want to bring us a point. The way they bring us a point is by dialogue. The Talmud was written, and it starts as follows. The Talmud has the first section of the Talmud. Let's go follow. You have 1,000 years of Jewish history in the Torah, right? Then you have the Mishnah, that is still of the times of the Second Temple, where you had first the Zigud, that is the first set of Jewish rabbis who called the Sayed. Then you had the Talmud, those who wrote the Mishnah. And then you have the Talmud that explains the Mishnah. So the Talmud is another 1,000 years written on top of it.
The Mishnah is, what is the Mishnah?
The Mishnah is the same as the Talmud, but in short. It's the beginning. It's not the summarize. It's the beginning. So the Talmud basically opens it up that you should understand, and it explains every word and every letter of how it should be understood. So it says this word in the Mishnah. For example, it tells you in the Mishnah that when you start your morning prayer, when you start being right. So that you have in the Mishnah. So the Talmud will say, one second, what should light consider? So the consider between light is when you can say the difference between blue and white. The second is light between blue and white. That is so you start to think how far you have to be. You have to be first in front of you, or you have to be in your position. It's like that. It's not like that. But that
yeah, it's the same.
No, it's not the way it works. The Mishnah explains the laws of the Torah in detail how practical it is.
Yeah, same. You know,
now, but in the Mishnah as well, you have the Mishnah will tell you, this is the Torah, this is the oral Torah, and we say, the rabbi, to be safe, do ABC.
So the details of what's in the Torah.
So there's no argument between the Jerusalem Talmud that was written in Israel and the Talmud that was written in Babylonian Iraq.
How much difference is there?
It's the same time, because the Jews in exile wrote it. It's Babylon, like Babylon, between the temples wrote it there, and they wrote it there. Different rabbis. There's sometimes where the rabbis travel between each other, giving over information from one side to the other. But they all agree on the simple context of the Torah and the oral Torah. What they just disagree is on the best way to build frames around it. What would be the best way? Now, that's why I think it's been a long time to understand the context of the Torah. When you say a different Muslim, it's not the true Muslim, it's up here and Haras, it's understand because for us, as long as you keep the Torah, you keep the rules.
You will appreciate that even within Judaism there are different sects.
Yeah,
there are
no
different.
sect will say that the other sect
For example, the seculars wouldn't say that. The secular Jews, they'll say that they are Jews.
we also say that.
And so from what I read from the secular Jews, when you ask them about the definitions of Messiah, for them it's not an individualism, it's like a time to live in.
Yes. You have to understand. We all agree on that.
So you accept them as
Now, they will tell you. And we don't
Muslim, find it, yeah.
relax.
Ushek. Ushek.
No, we can't put
that people don't want to know. People are more interested in religion. People focus on what can they do to please God.
The Messiah, the
As human beings, the only way to please God is to listen to Him and believe what He says.
the security, those who say that it's an age, the Messiah has been aged. It's not an individual bringing his utopia that everybody will live.
Listen to Him.
And so on. Because for you, it's an individual, right? The Messiah.
The person will bring them an aid
But for them, it's not an individual. That's what I read.
That is, for the secular Jew,
Because He will set you.
they don't
He will set you free.
So I don't.
So your interpretation of what the Messiah is.
Jesus.
Their interpretation is that
Everybody needs Jesus.
Oh, is this because
Why you
how do you?
but they are doing it. But
Without Jesus Christ,
Isn't that dangerous?
the whole world will perish.
For a Muslim, if you ask someone, oh, do you pick and choose from the Quran and the Hadith? And most of the Muslims say no. Because for you, the question I was asking, is that what they interpret as the Messiah is not an individual. What they interpret as the Messiah is a time rather than an individual. So the period,
how they interpret it. They definitely didn't have much patience to wait.
yeah, that's for sure. So they're in that impatience, they completely.
they left.
Okay, let's put it this: they're secular. They don't observe many parts of the
They
Torah.
don't accept kosher. They
You're
don't
up
accept.
to them believing in
So
certain
they eat
prophecy.
anything?
They don't believe in God. Most of them.
Oh, then
A lot of them are atheists.
How can you call them Jews then?
Because they are Jewish.
A lot of the founders of the state were
You mean Jewish
atheists.
by race, not by religion.
Jewish.
By race.
That means they don't keep. They don't
Ethnically
keep.
Jewish,
But they are Jewish.
religiously not.
But they're Jewish.
Yeah, but ethnically, I understand. There's a difference between ethnic Jews and there are atheists. There are many atheists who are Jews, and there are many Arabs who are not Muslims. So we don't consider every Arab to be Muslim. Similarly, you do not consider every Jewish by race to be following Judaism.
They don't.
That's what I meant.
The fact of life is that most of the Jews live in the world.
When I said secular Jews, I did not mean those. I mean they still consider themselves to be part of the Muslim.
Yeah,
But they have a different
They all
interpretation.
do. They don't have interpretation. They don't have interpretation.
They just
They try to take the easy road. That means it. No Sabbath, no kosher, no kosher. Secular.
Just like many Christians today are secular,
Yes.
many Muslims today are secular. We have this in all the faiths, I think.
Yeah. But it's not that they would argue from a rabbinic study that this is the Messiah and you're now.
Oh, you mean Christ, some do.
Yeah, but the main concept.
Something that, oh, we know better than you guys.
No, most. You might find the one up here and there.
What about their belief in, I don't know, their belief in heaven and hell? And same with the Orthodox. Do the Orthodox Jews have concrete belief in heaven, paradise and hell?
It's completely different than the Islamic view of paradise.
So what is your view of hell and heaven?
Number one for us, it's a complete spiritual understanding. It's not a physical.
It's not a physical.
It's not a physical.
So
That means
explain to me what is your belief in that?
let's do it. There's a few stages. There's the stages before resurrection. Let's go just to the stage before resurrection.
Oh, you believe in resurrection?
Yeah, let's go to the stage before resurrection. And that means we believe every person who was born on this world has a duty in this world to choose between right and wrong. Now, every time you do wrong, you have an inequity on yourself. You create something impure. Every time you do something good, you purify yourself and you create pureness in the universe. Now, and our goal is less focused
It's a
on
pure, you mean goodness.
pureness. Now, when you're less focused on what happens when you die, that means where did you believe you can't do good because you want paradise? You have to do good because if this world is where you are now, the time you are here, you have to use up every second to bring goodness, harmony, unity, and grace.
It's the same the Muslims, Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahy anil Munkar, to practice or to call towards goodness and forbid evil. So this is the central concept in Islam.
Now, when we take it to the next level, let's first take hell because it's easier understanding. That means that every time. It's not around. Oh. Now, listen, so what we see.
Ronaldo will disagree with you about the football.
Yeah. Now listen, so what happens is that when you do something wrong, you create a blemish on yourself. You create a blemish on your soul. You create a blemish within the universe. So hell is a place where you wash your machines. Where it washes it. The wrongness that you did is going to be purified.
But what is hell? What is it that will purify you?
What will be purified?
No, what is hell that will purify?
The simple words that we use for people to understand would be fire, would be hot water, but it's nothing. It's all just to understand that your spirituality will go through.
So is that literal fire and hot water?
No. It's a purification place where you purify the wrongness you've done.
Yeah, but if it's not physical, if it's not, what do you mean?
Because
how do you
when
cleanse yourself
I'll tell you why.
spiritually with fire and boiling
because
water?
when you do evil, you create iniquity. You have blemished your soul. You have blemished your soul.
Okay.
Now, I am not the soul, and I haven't seen what goes on up there. And maybe,
No, but you have a soul, right?
sure we have a soul, but I myself have not seen what goes on up there, have I?
Okay.
I haven't seen what
You
happens.
haven't seen your soul?
I haven't seen my soul. I haven't seen what happens every night when I go to bed, when it goes upstairs and says hi and bye. I haven't. Yes. Now,
I mean, I'm trying to understand the cleanliness. How do you cleanse? Let's say I understood the part about you being, your soul being, there's a blemish on it when you sin. I understand that part because in Islam we have the same thing that your heart, there'll be sayyah, there'll be some, like if you commit one sin, as if like one black dot will be forming on your heart, and this is spiritual obviously, not that there'll be a literal black spot on your heart. So when you sin another, there'll be another black spot on it and so on. Until a time comes when your entire heart will be broken because you have sinned so much. And in Islam we believe that dhikrullah, remembrance of God, it cleanses the heart. Yes? And we have an ayah in the Quran where it says that in the remembrance of Allah there is tranquility. Yes? And this is something that before we die, we have this opportunity, remembrance and repentance to God.
that's what we do as well.
So on,
It's called video. The main prayers and as well as the process of death as well, where you get put into a mikveh. There's a long process. It is. Now, but let's not dulge away. So the simple concept of hell is this what you call the spiritual dot on your heart? That spiritual.
So I understood that part.
Yeah, that spiritual class is going to go through a spiritual cleansing.
Now that's the part I didn't understand. So in Islam, just to explain to you, this cleansing process, like Allah says in the Quran, that in the remembrance of Allah, the heart shall find tranquility. And this includes the cleansing of your heart. Remembrance of Allah, asking repentance, seeking forgiveness from
And that
God,
takes very good.
prayer to Allah,
And that is
so on. Yes.
that is a part of your cleansing.
Yeah, but this is before you die. And this opportunity is only open before you break your law.
Yes. Okay. So
Once you die,
yeah. So
then you'll be accountable for all the
till
good
that,
you've-
till,
all the
till
bad
that,
you've done.
we have so far agreed on that you get iniquities on a spiritual level, and you can repent till the last day of death. As we say on Yom Kippur, on the holiest day of prayer, and every day we hold, what is the exact word? Inclusive, the second you repent, the second you repent, you become pure. Yes.
An opportunity of
Well,
forgiveness is
if
there
you miss that opportunity and you don't, what happens?
after you die.
After you
What
die,
happens?
our understanding is that there's going to be a spiritual cleansing that goes through that is called that. It's a washing machine. Your end goal is on this world is to
And is there like a limit to that? Is it eternal? I don't know what it is.
Number one, we believe there is a limit to it because your washing machine just has to wash yourself out. Till, according to your iniquity, so big it's going to be. That's the greatness of the power of the cleansing process is going to be.
Right. And then
Now,
what happens?
let's go to the river. Then you start appreciating the holiness of the one above, what paradise is. Let's go a second. So that means that, let's say a person he's sinned on this world 60% or 40% he did right, yeah? Now, first he's going to be cleansed of a 60. But for this 40% he was right, he created goodness. He created purity on his soul. Now what does that 40% purity give him? That 40% purity gives him that he can appreciate the 40% of his own creation of purity from a heavenly purity upstairs. His soul will appreciate the purity from heaven. So heaven for us is the goodness you have created when you're alive. The purity of that is the purity that you will appreciate the soul after you pass. So again, it's not physical, it is your soul's appreciation.
So let me get this right. When you, all this what you have said, does that apply only to the Jewish people?
All humans.
All humans. So for you, you don't have the concept of shirk.
What shirk?
Means disbelief. Because to me,
let's go slowly.
To me, a Jewish person cannot accept idolatry to be something from God.
Definitely not.
Okay? So imagine
it's an iniquity.
Yeah, exactly. So all those people who commit idolatry, how will they be accounted for after death?
I'll tell you, that means as follows. They did not believe in God could be for many reasons. They did idolatry because their parents brought them up that way. They had no knowledge of it for many, many reasons. But the simple concept is that for the goodness they have created on this world, this goodness is a holiness. This holiness is what they will appreciate in the next world. For the wrongness they have created, the deed of wrongness they have created, that deed has to be purified. And a purification period that has to go through.
But the rabbis don't even let Christians pray in the synagogue.
No, because we don't, because that means is, in God's house you have to be pure, you have to pray to God.
Exactly, yeah. So you can
but that won't mean that a Christian who has given charity, who has done good, who has looked after the people and has cared of the sick, that he won't get a place and appreciate for the goodness he created while he was alive in the world to come. But
do you remember
he will go through purification for his iniquity of believing in a concept that God was man. But that is going to have to be purified. That means if a simple Jew
when you say purified, you mean they will suffer, right?
It's a suffer for us to understand. We don't know exactly.
Because you mentioned fire and boiling water.
It's a washing. Yes.
Yeah, but it's suffering.
It's a suffering.
Okay, let's be clear with our words. Because to me, a hell is not hell until death. It would be if you're just saying cleaning like in a washing machine looks like just tumbling going around in circles. It's not really punishment, you know what I mean? So what I'm trying to understand is that if a person...
But let's stop it again. The focus isn't the punishment. The focus is the cleansing.
Well, it's just euphemism.
The focus is the cleansing.
To me,
the way to get milk from the way...
To me, fire and boiling water is not
But
fun.
what's the end goal? Yeah, but what's the end goal of it? It's not to punish.
Well, if fire is not to punish you, and boiling water is not to punish you, I don't know what is.
I understand. It's just a
you can try to I don't know, sugarcoat it however you want. To me, fire burns. To me, boiling water.
But again, as we explained, that it isn't a literal fire, it isn't a literal boiling water. It's just for us to understand.
Well, even if you're mentally put in a torture,
100%.
then to me that is torture.
I agree.
It's not fun.
I agree.
Okay, so let's not sugarcoat.
I agree, but
hell
the process is
which is painful and torment to something which is like not really that.
Yes.
Okay? Now you're saying that ultimately everyone is going to experience the pleasure of
holiness,
of paradise, or heaven, whatever you call it, of holiness. Okay, so it'll be blessed. Ultimately. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's a bliss, but
this is an Orthodox Jewish belief.
The bliss is appreciating the holiness of the Lord. That's the
yeah, I'm talking about after that.
Yes, that's the bliss. That's
all those people who have done wrongs, committed, I don't know, incest, committed rape, committed murder.
For the goodness they have created, they will appreciate that level of holiness.
So ultimately, and I don't mean in any disrespect, even Hitler will be somewhere in a good place.
No, I'm not going to go into Hitler because...
Why not?
I'll tell you why.
He's a bad guy.
I'll tell you why.
Baddest guy
I'll tell you why not. Hitler for me is very emotional. My mother lost a brother and a sister.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mean anything personal to you, but what I meant...
Once you start going into a very personal...
I meant from a scripture point of view, not from your personal point of view. What I meant is
Now,
from
how
the
long,
religious point of view.
how long his cleansing is going to go on for, I don't know. But I believe for the goodness he did, the goodness is going to be repaid.
Okay. And is this an Orthodox belief that ultimately everyone will be having some blessing, some form of blessing? Is that an Orthodox Jewish belief? Okay. Because I've never heard of that. I've never seen it anywhere.
It's all over. I'll send it to you. Give me your number, I'll send it.
Do you remember where in the Torah roughly?
I'll send it. You give me your number.
I'll give you my
I'll give it
email.
to Ali if you want, then I'll send it to Ali.
My email is quite easy. You see this Dawa Wise? That's my channel. So it's Dawa Wise
I like the logo.
at gmail.com.
I like the logo. It looks like Hebrew letters of Sheehan and Salmon.